The situation with the DoorDash girl has angered me more than any other topic that I've covered on this channel. The sheer ease that people online will blindly believe baseless accusations and slander is terrifying, infuriating, and needs to be called out. For everyone watching, just know that I, of course, am not going to be defending everything that the DoorDash girl, aka Olivia, who I will be referring to her as in the rest of this video, has done. I think we can all acknowledge, especially if you've seen my last video on this topic, that some grave errors were definitely made on her part. And we will be talking about those two in detail in this video, so don't you worry about that. But at the same time, she is getting lambasted and slandered with so much vile, false narrative-led, hive-minded fury that once again, it just does need to be talked about. Because somehow it's only gotten about 100 times worse since a few weeks ago. So in this video, we're going to be explaining exactly what we do know about Olivia's arrest and dissecting all of the blindly believed lies, such as Ring doorbell camera footage, for example, that despite being parroted so many times by people online, I'm sure you've heard of that rumor, is completely made up. Then we're going to look at the legislation that the arrest falls under in an attempt to figure out how guilty Olivia actually is, as well as if the court case will go anywhere. And just a wee spoiler alert, by the way, it will not be 4 years like so many people are saying it'll be. P. Diddy got just over 4 years for reference. DoorDash girl and P. Diddy will not be serving similar sentence time for their crimes. Don't worry, I will be going into more detail when we get to that part though. And finally, I'd like to talk about some of the coverage of this situation by people online, both niche and popular, just so I can show you just how really and truly how brain-rotted and infuriating the whole thing is. So to start, let's talk about the public narrative currently for everyone who doesn't know. It's in the Ring doorbell footage that she opened the door. Ring doorbell video shows it. Where the fuck is this footage? A very good question, because everyone is saying that there's Ring doorbell footage. I mean, even in the comments of this random TikTok, there are hundreds of these TikToks, both in defense and against Olivia. Again, we'll get into all that later, but just to show you what the public is saying, let's have a look at these comments, right? They're fucking ridiculous. I got you. Just search DoorDash opening video. Lots of videos will have proof that she said she opened the door, deleted the video because of TikTok, and posted saying wide open. Completely fucking false. And this has 536 likes. It's the top comment on this video. 1. He didn't touch her. No one said he did. 2. She opened the door and filmed him. She didn't open the door. There's no fucking proof of that. It's all made up. Just saw TikTok. The DoorDash girl has a history of breaking and entering. Again, for the record, this is all, like, these are all the top comments here. I'm not scrolling down to find these. It's all just a bunch of complete fucking bullshit. Hello? She came into his house. No, she didn't. She didn't go into his house. We have the fucking video. She did open the door, though. How the fuck do you know? You're making it up. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. Everyone's saying this. You're actual fucking idiots. You should not be on the internet. You're too dumb and naive for it. The only reason you believe it is because you've read a bunch of TikTok comments saying it and not looked into it at all. Because if you did, you would immediately come to find that none of what you're saying is fucking true. I thought we had left my dog ate the homework excuse back in like 2012. Why is it being used now? It's like, oh, there's footage of her opening the door. Okay, show me the footage. Oh, I can't find it. It's all gone. Fuck you! Genuinely, go fuck yourself. You suck. And just to be clear here, I am not defending Olivia in every aspect of this case. She uploaded a naked man's body to TikTok where millions of children have now seen it. Without that guy's consent, no less. I still stand by my initial point that uploading the video to TikTok is the biggest mistake here. But let's not kid ourselves. She didn't do it for like any malicious intent. She did it because she genuinely felt violated and believed that she had been SA'd. And another thing people are forgetting, the bloke's intent, whilst it matters legally, it doesn't matter in terms of the effect it had on Olivia. Whether or not he meant to flash her or not, he still flashed her, and that shit can be traumatizing. No one deserves to see someone's genitals without consenting to it. You know, let's pick apart both legal and moral things here. Like put them aside, because legally and morally are two different things. Legally, he's probably in the clear because he was in his own private domicile. Morally, let's be real, there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. He was disrobed in the living room with all the lights turned on, the door wide open, with a DoorDash delivery on the way. The house is also a duplex, which we now know, so anyone could have left or entered, like, at any time. And even if he didn't intend to flash her, What the fuck are you doing as a grown-ass man getting so drunk that you are passed out on your couch naked when there is a DoorDash delivery on the way? At worst, it wasn't intentional flashing, and at best, you are a grossly irresponsible fucking idiot. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the evidence that this Ring doorbell camera footage exists, shall we? So the page that most people are citing is this New York Post article. New York DoorDash driver arrested after sharing video of naked customer passed out in his own home. I'm just gonna skip to the Ring doorbell bit. You can read this fucking article if you want in your own time. However, Ring camera footage appears to show Henderson let herself into the man's house, and police have said there is no indication she was encouraged to go in, let alone film. Right. Let's be clear here. This is a bunch of bullshit from the New York Post, who are not a credible news site by any means. Let's be really fucking clear here. They say that the police have said there is no indication she was encouraged to go in. The police didn't say anything about the Ring camera footage. They just brought that up completely separate from everything else. The only way they would know that for fact is if the police fucking told them. The New York Post have not interacted with any police officers who are part of this case. And they were sneaky about this. They used the word appears very intentionally there. Ring camera footage appears to show Henderson let herself into the man. They use appears because what they're actually doing here is referencing the thousands of TikTok comments saying that Ring camera footage exists. They do not have any actual evidence that it exists. That's why when you look at any, like, credible news article or credible news website, they don't say anything about the Ring doorbell camera footage because it doesn't fucking exist. But that one article has led to so much bullshit because you get people citing shit, like this one, for example. Look at this. Claims that his door was wide open when multiple sources have said that she opened the door. And they link 2 sources to the door being wide open. Well, I mean, that is incredible. We only saw one. We should check some other ones, right? Oh, this one's from The Independent. Let's have a look at what The Independent has to say, a UK newspaper. Ring camera footage taken from the home reportedly shows her opening the man's door on her own. Oh, well, I guess according to the New York Post. You fucking idiot. You don't know anything about anything. You have linked 2 sources, but the second source is just the first source again. This is what I mean. This is why I fucking despise the internet. Everyone is so dumb. Everyone is so dumb and out to fucking get people for nothing. You can criticize Olivia Henderson for the genuine crimes that she did commit, for showing a man's naked body to millions of children online. That's fucked up. She deserves to have her DoorDash job removed from her. She doesn't deserve to get paid from those videos, which she clearly wanted because she was begging for it. What she doesn't deserve is to be completely slandered and made lies up about, and also huge assumptions about her being some kind of fucking attention seeker who planned this whole thing out, who saw the bloke naked, wasn't genuinely traumatized, wasn't genuinely hurt by the situation, but just saw it as a wee opportunity to get some clicks or some follows to her page. You don't fucking know that. You don't fucking know her. Having a traditionally female name on DoorDash for years has led to pretty creepy results a lot of the time. How can you blame a woman for delivering something to a house, the door being wide open, someone naked on their couch with the lights on in a fucking duplex, and genuinely believe that they're like delusional for thinking that it might have been intentional? And that is not me saying that it was for sure intentional, by the way. The main issue here is that you cannot prove without a shadow of a doubt whether it was intentional or not, which means in court, there is reasonable doubt. A lot of people have been saying that realistically what she should have done is just taken the video and kept it to herself and not posted it online and, you know, kept it for evidence. But, I mean, that is also illegal. You can't record someone naked in their own home like that. So it is complicated. Like, it is genuinely complicated, and I'm tired of people acting as though it's not complicated at all. And as much as there are definitely people on Olivia's side who are just refusing to acknowledge that she has done anything wrong, the people on the other end of that spectrum are, like, worse, in my opinion. At least the people defending Olivia aren't making shit up. They just have a different opinion. But I cannot make it any clearer to you guys. The only information we have about this situation directly is the initial video that Olivia posted and that we've all seen, where the door was wide open, she says it was wide open, and there was nothing before that claiming otherwise. Her story has stayed the same from the very fucking beginning. First of all, it's a fucking pull door. It's not even a push door. So for everyone saying she pushed... Oh my goodness. For everyone saying she pushed it open, fuck you even more. You can't even push the bastard door, man. You are all so goddamn stupid that it's unbelievable. Everyone's saying there's Ring camera footage. I don't see a Ring camera anywhere. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, Ring cameras, they have a look to them, right? They actually are there. They're not fucking invisible. And there's nothing there. So, Fuck-a-doodle-do. By the way, it gets even worse, if you can believe that. It gets so much worse, and we'll talk about that later. For now, I want to actually get the arrest out the way, because let's stop talking about what hasn't happened, and let's talk about what has happened, and figure it all out. Well, to the best of our ability, of course. And also because I need a bit of a fucking cool down here. DoorDash delivery girl has been arrested on 2 felony charges after recording a man passed out with his pants down in his own home and posting it to TikTok on a food delivery. She is being charged with unlawful surveillance and dissemination of surveillance images. Then you can see those charges here. This is the tweet that went viral because of all this. It's got like 120,000 likes, as you can see over there. It is just a wee screenshot from the Oswego City Court, though. We do have the full records and press releases, however. Here we go. Oswego City Police Department. On the 13th of November 2025, an incident was reported to the Oswego Police Department regarding an event that occurred on the 12th of November 2025. It was reported that a male DoorDash customer has been nude inside of his residence when a DoorDash delivery driver dropped off a food order. An investigation was initiated by the Oswego Police Department, during which it was discovered that the delivery driver had taken video of the nude male. The video, along with the subsequent investigation, indicates that the male was incapacitated and unconscious on his couch due to alcohol consumption. So for the record, I don't know if the alcohol consumption thing is true or not, because any breathalyzer they could have done is like, he was drunk the fucking day before, you know what I mean? So I would assume, I could be wrong here, but I would assume that is just because he said he was. Maybe he had like some sort of material evidence, I'm not too sure. But if it was just his word of mouth, it's like, of course he would fucking say that. But also, above all else, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's still ridiculous, you getting naked and fucking the door wide open and shit. There's no justifying that. Like, how exactly can it be proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was genuinely unconscious? If anyone can answer that for me, then I'd be well pleased. Thank you. But genuinely, like I said earlier, whether he's unconscious or not, at worst, he's a flasher, and at best, he's a fucking idiot who unintentionally flashed someone, which still isn't good. Everyone coming to his defense as though there aren't 2 people who have done wrong here. It's just he was, you know, morally wrong, whilst she was legally wrong. As well as morally wrong. She was also morally wrong. She shouldn't have done what she did. It's fucked up. And for the people who are complaining that I don't have the same amount of vitriol or anger when I talk about her as when I talk about him, and are pinning me as some sort of fucking performative male because of it, first of all, it's probably a good thing that you fucked off already, because I probably don't want you here to begin with. But secondly, the reason why I'm nowhere near as angry talking about what she did is because no one is on the internet lying about what she did. Well, they are literally lying about what she did, but no one is lying to, like, in defense of her. What's got me so angry and emotional here isn't the event itself. It's the complete slander and misinformation that can just be believed by millions of people based on nothing. I think that worries me a lot more, because that's not just one standalone case. That is a continuing trend that has been on the internet for decades now and has no signs of slowing down. And it's really dangerous. It's so terrifying. I don't think you guys fucking understand how terrifying it is that so many people are so willing to believe shit like that when there is no evidence for any of it. You know, I'm not angry here because people are pissed at the DoorDash girl. That's completely fine. You have every reason to be pissed at her. What she did was fucked up. I would hope that you can also acknowledge that she is absolutely a victim here, though. A victim of flashing. Doesn't matter if it was intentional or not. She is still a victim of flashing. The video was taken from the exterior of the male's residence. First of all, again, exterior. She did not enter, for everyone lying about that shit. The DoorDash driver subsequently posted the video to social media, where it drew significant attention. It was further discovered that the DoorDash driver had made claims of being sexually assaulted during this incident. The investigation by the Oswego Police Department determined that no sexual assault occurred. The male depicted in the video cooperated with police and provided a statement. So yeah, officially and legally no sexual assault occurred, which I think is fair enough. I got a lot of comments in my last video on this whole situation saying that there doesn't actually need to be physical contact for it to be a sexual assault. I am aware of that, and that is genuinely completely valid here. I think I was more trying to say that this situation in particular cannot be classified as sexual assault. And the lack of physical contact is a big reason as to why it can't be considered sexual assault. That's not to say that every sexual assault has to have physical contact, but, you know, it definitely helps in terms of getting it, I guess, titled as sexual assault legally. Because flashing absolutely is, you know, a form of sexual violence and harassment. And in certain cases can also classify as sexual assault, just not this one. The investigation ultimately led to the arrest of the DoorDash driver, Olivia Henderson, 23, of Oswego. For recording and disseminating the videos, Henderson was charged with the following: 1 count of unlawful surveillance in the 2nd degree, 1 count of dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image in the 1st degree. Now, we'll have a look at those charges later and dissect exactly what they mean and how guilty Olivia is of them. Henderson was released after being processed on the above charges and was issued an appearance ticket for a future court date in Oswego City Court. The Oswego Police Department continues to investigate the circumstances surrounding this incident as in communication with the Oswego County District Attorney's Office regarding the prosecution of these charges. Anyone with information about this investigation or other is encouraged to contact the Oswego Police Department. Calls will be kept confidential, blah, blah, you get the idea. Okay, so first and probably most importantly, charged and arrested does not equal guilty. Now, a lot of people have immediately jumped to, oh my god, she's getting the maximum sentence, she's getting 4 fucking years for these charges, it's over for her, she's done. And it's like, again, you are so unbelievably stupid. The internet is ridiculously dumb and it infuriates me, genuinely. It hurts my heart. She's not getting 4 years for this shit. P. Diddy got 4 years. She will not get 4 fucking years. If she does, I will be protesting, man. I'll be on the front lines. If it's just me, I will lead that protest, because that would be fucked up. In the same way, the bloke who flashed her was presumed innocent and was thereby saved because of it, because we could not prove without a shadow of a doubt that he was guilty or doing this intentionally. Olivia Henderson also gets that exact same right? She cannot be proved as guilty. She is presumed innocent until trial. And to be found as guilty, there has to be, like, beyond any reasonable doubt proof that she is guilty. But what exactly does guilty mean? Well, we'll get to that. For one, I will say that this, like the arrest taking place about a month after the initial incident, that can potentially be seen as some kind of evidence that new information has come out. I do not think that this new information has anything to do with Ring doorbell camera footage as much as people are, I'll say it, are lying about it, or are spreading gross misinformation about because they're fucking idiots who don't bother to actually research or fact check any of their shit before putting out life-ruining slanderous statements. Every reputable site, like People Magazine, for example, who are known to, I'm not saying they're the best fucking news website in the world, but, you know, they check their sources, they have a lot more credibility and reliability than people like the New York Post, or Where Is the Buzz, which I've never even fucking heard of before, that also reported that there was Ring doorbell camera footage or whatever the fuck. I mean, there's a reason no reputable news site has said without a doubt that there is Ring doorbell camera footage. And even the ones that aren't reputable were very sneaky with how they worded it. You know, when you look at the charges, it's unlawful surveillance, dissemination of unlawful surveillance, right? There's no burglary charge or trespass charge or anything along those lines, which I feel as though if there was video footage of her opening the door and entering the fucking house, there would be that charge on there. I guess I probably should make it clear, there is not a 0% chance that there is no Ring doorbell camera footage. And if by chance it does eventually come out that it does exist, then I guess I might look like a bit of a fucking idiot, but whether or not it does come out or doesn't, it doesn't change the fact that right now there is no evidence for it. Like, I'm not even claiming it doesn't exist, I'm just claiming that there's no evidence for it. So if it does eventually come out, that doesn't even mean that I'm wrong here. But I don't think it'll come out. Like, I really don't. I don't think it exists. So just to be clear, the Oswego City Police Facebook says that independent video has been viewed by the police. I obviously can't say for sure, but that makes it sound as though some sort of footage that's independent of Olivia or Austin. But either way, not only do I believe that this isn't Ring doorbell footage, but I also don't believe that the footage in any way shows her opening the door. The main point I'm trying to get across here isn't that it's impossible for footage we haven't seen to exist. All I'm trying to point out is that everyone who is acting as though they've seen anything, or are sure of anything, are either lying or so dumb that all it takes for them to believe something so obviously fake is a comment on TikTok. Anyway, here we go. Section 250.45, unlawful surveillance in the second degree. And this is the New York State Senate, which is the state that this, you know, happened in. Now, the reason stated was the first one here, so for his or her own, or another person's amusement, entertainment, or profit, or for the purpose of degrading or abusing a person. He or she intentionally uses or installs or permits the utilization of installation of an imaging device to surreptitiously view, broadcast, or record a person dressing or undressing, or the sexual or other intimate parts of such person at a place and time when such person has reasonable expectation of privacy without such person's knowledge or consent. And then when we look at 250.6.1 as well, which is the dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image in the first degree. This one hinges on the first charge, so we'll read them both now and then talk about them. He or she, with knowledge of the unlawful conduct by which an image or images of the sexual or other intimate parts of another person or persons were obtained, and such unlawful conduct would satisfy the essential elements of the crime of unlawful surveillance in the first or second degree, as defined respectively in section 250.50 or 250.45 of this article, sells or publishes such images, and then it moves on to the second point. Now, like I said earlier, the guy was naked in his home with the lights turned on in the fucking living room in, like, pure view with the door wide open in a duplex. So whilst there was a DoorDash delivery on the way, by the way, that he ordered, so reasonable expectation of privacy, I don't think Olivia's gonna get done for that. Let's remember here, it has to be beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like, let's be completely honest with ourselves. With all of those elements laid out on the table like that, is there a completely and utterly reasonable expectation of privacy? I obviously think not, and I would also say that anyone who does think that you can reasonably expect privacy in a situation like that is either 1, blind, or 2, correct, and I have no idea how wrong I am right now. If you genuinely believe that he can reasonably expect privacy in that situation, then let me know, because I am just not seeing it. A resident of the duplex or a theoretical visitor could have walked by at any time, but on top of it all, there was a fucking DoorDash girl on the way that he ordered. So they use the word surreptitiously in the statutes, which we're not exactly sure how it's defined there. If we go by dictionary definition, it means something done by stealth or like clandestinely. I don't know if him supposedly being unconscious like constitutes her doing this in secret. I personally don't believe that you can argue she was attempting to take the video without being discovered. You know, it's not as though she was peeking around the corner or trying to be silent or something like that. And I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to convince a jury that she was doing this without trying to be discovered as well. Then there's the actual parts, like the human genitals, pubic area, buttocks, and that includes parts that are covered only by like a bare undergarment. Again, I genuinely believe that there is reasonable doubt here because you can't really see the dude's dick in the video. I wish I could find the original video now, but I think it's been taken down from Reddit. All right, I'm getting the video up now, but I can't obviously show you guys. It is out there if you look hard enough, but I'm going to have a wee look to see how visible it actually is. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something skin colored like next to his thigh. Could it be his penis or like general pubic region? Maybe, of course. I'm not denying that. Like, it genuinely could be. The quality is quite bad because it's so far away. It could also be like the midriff from his hoodie riding up a little bit though. At worst, there is like a very small, low quality amount of pubic region being shown. I personally would say that there is enough reasonable doubt here, but in this case, I would not fault anyone for thinking that like, you know, she should be found guilty there. And again, I am not denying at all that it was completely fucked up what she did. She should not have done that. Like, the whole taping the video and putting it on TikTok is honestly probably the dumbest way you could have handled that situation. Because even if it was all intentional on his end, like, you've almost given him an out now. What maybe she should have done is called the police, like, directly on scene, maybe? Like, she gets there, she sees the bloke, she calls the police right there and then. Again, though, I'm not gonna pretend like I know exactly what should have been done, because like I said before, it is genuinely complicated. I'm not pretending to have all the fucking answers here. And let's also bear in mind that the charge is for amusement, entertainment, or profit, or for the purpose of degrading or abusing a person. I think you could actually pretty easily prove that she was doing it for profit, because there are videos of her complaining that she wasn't being paid from the video of a naked man where children are watching, which again is completely fucked up on her end. Like, I can't believe she would think that's appropriate. She made a video that was over a minute and she was mad that TikTok took it down, when it's like, no, obviously TikTok is gonna take the video of an unconsenting man's naked body off of their platform where children are watching. And even if there weren't children watching, you can't fucking post that shit. No wonder it got taken down, and here you are complaining that you didn't get paid for it? Like, yeah, it's very, very silly. It's daft. It's bad. It's a really shitty thing to do. But that doesn't matter at all if the person does not have a reasonable expectation of privacy, which I do not believe that he did in the slightest, so doesn't really matter. Just worth bringing up because I know some people will comment on that, right? Let's have a look at her original statement that she made to the police whilst we're here. Okay, here we go. Original narrative. On the above date, time, and location, I responded to a public lewdness complaint. Upon arrival, I spoke with Olivia Henderson, who stated that she was door dashing last night at 136, and then it's the address and all that. And when she arrived at the address to deliver a Wendy's pickup, the male who ordered had his front door wide open and he was sleeping on the couch with no pants on. Olivia stated that she left the food at the front porch and left. She advised me that she called because she did not want this to happen again to another female delivery driver. Yeah, I mean, it would be disingenuous of me to say that it is a bad look she didn't mention that she filmed the whole thing and posted it to TikTok. I think we know why she didn't mention that to the police, because it would make her look really fucking bad. So even she knows what she did, like, on some level was fucked up. She probably regretted it a little bit by this point. I then responded to 136 and spoke with Austin, who stated that he had gone out last night to the bars. He stated that he woke up and realized that his front door was wide open and saw the photo Olivia left of the food being delivered and his door open with him laying inside. Austin stated that he thought he had shorts on in the video and did not realize that he was actually naked. Of course, legally it does matter. It clears him completely. Like, he is legally innocent, like, completely. And I'm not disputing that, but morally, it's still fucked fucked up on his end. Austin stated several times that this is not normal for him and that he was sorry that it happened. I advised him at this time that there are no charges. However, if it becomes a recurring issue, he could potentially get charged. See, there you go. So it is illegal to do it intentionally, else he wouldn't be getting charged for it if it happened again and again, which of course implies that there is some sort of purposeness or like negligence that is worthy of criminal prosecution. So let's not act as though the act itself is completely legal in all cases. Like, there are cases where doing something like this can get you banged up, and rightfully so, by the way. He stated that he understood and that it would not happen again. I mean, hopefully that's true. At this time, there are no applicable charges due to a lack of intent and because Austin was within his own home with no view to the public. I had a lot of people coming at me, a lot of like faux investigators and fucking detectives and lawyers being like, Dankyjabo says that the intent is what matters here. The intent has nothing to do with it. It's like, no, go fuck yourself. It says it right there. The police are saying it. Officer Honeywell, or whatever the fuck his name is, he is saying that there are no charges due to lack of intent, implying that if there was intent, there would be charges. And because Austin was within his own home with no view to the public, aside from Olivia being on his private property to make the delivery. I've not got many qualms with that last sentence, but like, Olivia isn't just a member of the public. She was a delivery driver who was invited onto the private property. So I do think it is a little bit different, but I get it, right? I do understand. And I'm not mad at this officer by any means. I think they've done their job fairly. Mainly because they're not doing what the TikTok comments are doing and completely making shit up. Like, this is the official story here. Anyway, let's have a look at some YouTubers' coverage of this whole situation. This is the biggest one that I could find. This YouTuber has 2 million subscribers, and this video has like 700,000 views. And they talk about how there is Ring doorbell camera footage, so I guess we'll see what they have to say.
And she posted it for millions of people online to see. I don't know about you guys, but I think the video got deleted because of that. So obviously that's not allowed on the platform, hence why I can't show the clip here. But there were these side-by-side screenshots that started popping up of whether the door was closed or left open.
So, I mean, immediately, this is so fucked up on his end. Again, I don't know if this is intentional from him or not, but this cropped photo here is fake. So this is a screenshot that's been posted everywhere on the internet. I haven't found the original video, but I did see somebody post a screenshot from the original video. The video that's circulating now, the door is wide open, and this one is about a third of the way, which means she had to push the door open to take the video that's now circulating. So the video exists, we have a screenshot of it, but we don't have the actual fucking video. Does this not sound a little bit suspicious to anyone fucking else, especially now in the age where AI videos are so convincing that you can't tell a lot of them from, you know, fake ones, or real ones rather. You get what I'm fucking saying here. In the original video, she opens the door. No, she fucking doesn't. There's no original video. We have the original video. This screenshot is fake. It's not real. We would have it if it was real. Like, is no one paying attention to the supposed text there? That is just completely unintelligible? Well, it is. You can read it if you know what the original text is, because you got the original text here, a man named Austin or whatever. But look, in this actual original video, because this is the actual original video here, look, she picks the camera up from the floor and points forward, right? So what the fuck would have happened before that point in some weird, unknown original video? Why would she start the video, open the door, put the camera down, and then put it up as though she was starting the video then? Just use your fucking heads, man. Also, in this text here, we see with his pants and underwear to his ankles and his front door wide open. And you can just see from the anatomy of the text, like the way that it's laid out is the exact same as this blurry text over here, which means that it's using the exact same words and claims that the door was wide open. Why would she claim that the door was wide open in some weird, unknown, original, mysterious video when the door clearly isn't wide open? If the door wasn't wide open and she actually opened it in the original video, why would she be saying that the door is wide open? She fucking wouldn't, because it's fake. That's why there's no actual video of it. And for this YouTuber to just show it on screen willy-nilly and not even use the words allegedly to say a screenshot has surfaced of the original video, it's like, are you taking the piss? You've got 2 million subs, man.
There were these side-by-side screenshots that started popping up of whether the door was closed or left open. Either way, dude is in his own house, so is this illegal? No. But my main question is, why is she walking around in this dude's house?
She wasn't walking around in the dude's house. It's on the fucking report, man. And there's no evidence that she was in the house because she wasn't. What she did was fucked up. Atozy makes good points in this video. The video should have been taken down. She should have lost her DoorDash job. She was showing a video of a naked man to millions of children without that man's consent. Taking the video on its own potentially can be seen as fucked up. Why do we need to make up lies? Why? She's already been fucking arrested for for it. It's not as though she's not having a shit enough time as it is. You don't need to lie about it. It's not even that I care about her necessarily, as much as I do feel sorry for her. It's more just angering me how easy it is to trick people, to fool people. All it takes is a fucking TikTok comment. It's ridiculous.
But I think one of the reasons this whole thing went so viral, other than the fact this girl's thought process is borderline crazy, is that no one could agree about the push door or was the door wide open. And I mean, I get why there's a hang up here, because if she actually, you know, pushed the door open to record a guy just laying there in his house and then, you know, turned herself into the victim, she's insane. And then we for sure have another member of the Hall of Fame of influencer morons. At this point, I need to start holding introduction ceremonies for these kinds of idiots, because I should be starting my videos like, welcome to the newest idiot who's now facing jail time for some social media content. Because at this rate, I'd say a lot of my videos are kind of like that. Anyway, people were arguing about the lighting, angles, wood grain, everything. But this is where the story took a life of its own, because while she was telling millions of people that DoorDash and TikTok were trying to bury her truth, police were piecing together a version of the events that looked very different from what she originally stated online. Because eventually, the police stepped in with their own findings, citing Ring doorbell footage that reportedly showed her opening the door herself.
Oh, the police said that, did they? I wonder where they said that. Could you maybe show us? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? We can put this to bed now. Finally, she opened the door. She's completely in the wrong. What a fucking... I can't believe she'd do such a thing. I can't wait to see this evidence, man.
Ma'am, why did you do that? So, ladies and gentlemen, they got her.
Sir, I have your DoorDash. Oh! Ew! I'm a victim!
And I'm not joking to you, by the way. That video right there of two boys doing some weird skit thing is the closest thing that a Tozy shows to evidence of footage. And even in that video, the door was wide open.
Number one, why would you ever do this to begin with? And number two, why would you do this when there's a Ring doorbell camera right there next to the door?
It's a good... You know what? That is a great question. Why would she do this if there was a Ring doorbell camera? They're pretty easy to spot. Do we really think that she's that dumb that there was a camera there and she's lied about the whole thing to millions of people? Or do we maybe think that there wasn't a camera there? Or that if there was a camera there, the door was still wide open? So she had no reason to be scared because she wasn't lying.
Like, did you not think he was gonna review the footage after you exposed him to millions of people online with his pants down? What did you think was gonna happen? Either way, according to the police in Oswego, the man in the video was not sitting there waiting to expose himself to the delivery driver. He was sleeping and drunk, lying on his couch with no idea what was going on. And thankfully for him, the doorbell camera footage reportedly showed her opening the door herself.
See, this is why I get so angry, because it's not just TikTok comments. It's not just YouTube comments. It's not just fucking people on Reddit. It's not just like, you know, low-level TikTokers with 500 followers spreading some shit online to gain a following. It's YouTubers with millions of subscribers. It's people with huge platforms who are just so willing and so easily fooled, so able to have the cheek to go on camera and say shit this slanderous and this baseless when there's no evidence for any of it. And this girl's fucked up. Like, what she's done is shitty here, but what happens if someone is like a completely innocent party in one of these situations and they get some baseless accusations thrown towards them or thrown their way? They have every reason to be scared, to be fearful now, because the internet will take that and they will expand upon it. They'll make more lies up. They won't look for evidence. They don't look into that shit, man. Who gives a fuck about nuance? Just read a TikTok comment. That's all the news I need. Even to the point where this YouTuber with 2 million fucking subscribers is parroting these stupid ass TikTok comments and believing them fully with no evidence. Like, he's not even trying to show anything. He's not even showing the news article that says it. And the news article is total bullshit, but he doesn't even show that.
2 counts of Class E felonies: unlawful surveillance and dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image. And these charges usually apply to people who secretly record others in private settings: bathrooms, bedrooms, changing rooms, that kind of thing. But the legal idea is the same: recording someone inside of their home when they have an expectation of privacy.
Which he didn't, by the way. The door's wide open, there's a DoorDash coming that you ordered, there's no expectation of privacy. Inevitably, someone is going to be at your wide open door whilst you are naked. You cannot reasonably expect privacy.
Even if the camera is technically outside of the door. Police said that she filmed a sleeping person and posted it publicly, which is exactly what these laws are written for. So the bottom line is, police found no proof of SA, and the man was asleep. And Olivia admitted the instructions for her order said to leave the food at the door, not inside of the home as she filmed. Her last TikTok was posted on October 26th, right right after she said that she was being punished for reporting what happened. After the arrest, she didn't post anything at all. No defense, no clarification, no follow-up about what she plans to say in court.
Yeah, because why the fuck would she do that? Why would she do that? Why would she go on camera and be like, hey guys, I've just been fucking arrested. Here is my court case plan. Here's what I'll say to the fucking judge. It's like, wasn't the whole thing that was wrong with this situation to begin with that she took it public, that she made it public? The fact that she hasn't done anything since this was announced to be like made a case out of is a good thing. This shouldn't be public. The fact that we know about any of this is tragic, and it's her fault. Like, let's make that clear. It's her fault that we know about any of this. And I hope I have made it clear that I am not completely defending her either. Like, she is fucked up royally here, and what she did was horrible.
And depending on how the judge sees all the evidence, she could be looking at a whole lot of time here. And this can range from probation to years in state prison, because it looks like a Class E felony in New York can carry up to 4 years, and she's charged with 2 Class E felonies, so that could be a combined maximum of 8 years in prison. Either way, it's no longer a he said, she said, and it's definitely not a conspiracy that TikTok doesn't want you to hear about. This is a criminal case with evidence and surveillance footage that was provided by the perpetrator.
No, it's not. I'm sick of this fucking video. He's actually pissing me off. We're done, man. It's not true. It's all such bullshit. Final conclusion, if you believe that the footage exists, you're a fucking idiot. Get off the internet, learn to be smarter, and maybe you will have a happier life. Maybe not. Ignorance is fucking bliss. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Fucking internet's been doing it for decades now, and it's not changing. It's not changed at all. If anything, it's gotten worse. But just know that you are fucking stupid. Like, you are really, really irresponsible and dumb. And I hope you look into these things a little bit more in the future. In terms of Olivia, yeah, of course, she does not come across well in those videos at all. She did a lot of really fucked up things. I'm not going to go over them again. I've said them many times in this video already. She will not be getting 8 years. She won't be getting 4 years. If she does, fuck me. That is like the biggest injustice ever. But it won't happen. I reckon it'll maybe be some probation. At the very most, like a few months. But realistically, I don't even think that's going to happen. It'll be a slap on the wrist. And I don't think a slap on the wrist is too, you know, unjust. Both her and him fucked up royally. I'm tired of people on both sides acting as though, like, neither of them have done anything wrong, or one of them hasn't done anything wrong. No, they've both done things that are wrong. It's just with her, we know the full story because she publicized all of it, and we don't know all the full story with him. But even best case scenario, what he did was still fucked up and negligent and stupid, and flashing someone intentionally or unintentionally can absolutely be traumatic, and she does not deserve to bear witness to that. However, neither do the millions of children who inevitably ended up seeing that video that she posted. So hopefully the trial goes fairly. A slap on the wrist seems fair to me, and I can only really wish her the best from here. You know, hopefully everything and every person involved in this situation genuinely improves and doesn't fuck up again. All that being said though, thank you very much for watching. As always, hopefully you enjoyed. I certainly didn't. Be sure to subscribe. We're aiming for 300,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It would be great if we could reach that. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.